Delco. What is Delco? Urban Dictionary, maybe the best definition of any place in the history of any place. Delco is the nickname for Delaware County. Not just a place to live, it's a way of life. Delco isn't something you obtain with a short visit while you're passing through. Never has been, or don't actually live here, you just won't understand. Delco is something you can spot across the bar while out of town. Speaking of bars, there's 42-to-1 ratio when it comes to bars to libraries. Delco people love being from Delco. I don't know if there's anything special from Delco, except being a Delco guy, I kind of like it.
What is up, Delaware County? Welcome back for another high school baseball preview episode. We have our friends just outside the Delco border, a couple blocks away, but we're happy to welcome in Vaughn Jones, Lucas Abreu, Caleb Bachman, Brendan Ricciardi here. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing great.
Great, man. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. We're excited to have you guys in because, as we kind of talked about before we started recording, we're kind of adding you guys into more coverage now that we have a lot more hands on deck. You know, teams like Malvern, Devon, Friend Central that have a lot of these Delco guys. So we're excited to get you guys in. Would you guys mind kind of just starting to talk a little bit just about the Friend Central program? You know, what it means to you guys, kind of the culture that you guys have.
Yeah. I feel like I love the culture a lot just because there's so many different things that are passed down like from class to class. And like my brother went here and he was a senior when I was a freshman. And like even that whole class is just like awesome. And they just taught us like so many different things that we are now like, I feel like I'm doing to like the younger guys. So I feel like there's just, it's pretty sick.
I mean, kind of going off that, I agree for me. I don't have any siblings, so I didn't have a brother that went here, but I know my freshman year, like I looked up to all the seniors, and I know being here was the first step, and then it kind of opened the door to other opportunities where, Darius Adkins, my freshman year, drove me to Brandon Barrel every day to work out, and that's kind of just been a big part of my progression as an athlete and just as a person as a whole. So I think this program, just opened the door to a lot of opportunities.
Me personally, I think our program is like what we are. Like we build through our culture and how together we are, and just the way we pass down our information, it goes out. Like it makes us a better whole. Everything that we do is made out of our culture. It's like our base, our foundation.
Did you guys plan on all wearing the quarter zips together?
I did not.
It's kind of just we're all on the same brain wave, I think it's our go-to.
This is how you are. Yeah. Hey, listen, I got the blue hoodie on here, so we're ready to go. Before we get into the 2026 season, I wanted to talk a little bit about last season. I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts about the 2025 season as a whole, just both the good and the bad.
So I think obviously a good part is we've always kind of been a winning program. I think we do a good job of winning games that we need to win. And I know, especially last year, early in the year, like for game one, going out and the bats were just hot against Haverford. And that's like a team, people on the outside don't expect us to win, but like we go into every game with the mentality like win, win, win. So I think that kind of started off our season hot. And then, kind of towards the end, lost the gas a little bit, but we just kept pushing. Took a pretty crappy loss to the league championship last year. So looking forward to hopefully get that back this year.
I feel like the positives is just we're just a competitive team. No matter who we're going up against, whether it's PCL, Interac, all these teams in the Friends League, we can compete. We will compete. It'll be a close game. And we just lost a couple big hard games towards the end. Unfortunate, but that's we should never be counted out. We're just always going to compete, and that's just how we are as a program.
I agree. We just compete. That's all we do. That's all we freaking do.
I love it. So, you guys come into the season, a bit of a sour taste in your mouth from both the league championship and that first round game against Haverford. So now how do you guys channel that, emotion from last year and bring it to this year so you don't have to feel like that again?
I mean, it's crappy, right? Like, I mean, we're going to have that. It's just like another chip on our shoulder. Like, we're going to hold that. We're going to hold that fire from last year, pretty much returning to the same guys. We got some newer, younger guys, definitely a younger core. We got a great senior class, and I think the younger core is going to do a lot this year. I think just continuing to have the right culture, the right standards, doing all the right things, everybody comes to practice. So I think going into this year, every practice, give everything you got. Games, give everything you got, trust the person next to you, trust the person after you, try and pass that torch on, get back.
Do you know how many seniors you have off the top of your head?
We have five, all five returning this year.
Nice.
So.
I feel like I'm in a great spot because that's our baseline. Like where we plateaued towards the end of last year, that's our starting point, and everyone's just going up. We lost our everyday center fielder and a good rotation guy and a solid bat, and then everything else is just going up and up. Everyone's taking a big step up into their new roles, embracing that part of it, and just keep getting better every day.
Yeah, I feel like the best thing we bring to the table is our competitiveness. I was talking to my dad about when we play those bigger teams, they have so many guys, and I feel like that's something so special about our program is that we're never we don't ever have 20 guys on the bench, but we just no matter what, we're just out there competing with everyone, and I think that's something special that we have.
What's the roster size looking like?
It's probably 20, on.
If that.
If that.
14.
How big's the school? How many kids are in your?
Our grade, our senior class, we have 107 people. So
Okay.
That's the largest in the school.
yeah. So
Really?
I mean, in the upper school, we probably have about 400 people.
Okay. Yeah,
give or-
it's hard to keep track because the PIAA, you're split up by the school class. We kind of know, oh, they're a 6A school or 5A, but for you guys, it kind of varies. I don't know how many kids are at Malvern or Haverford or EA or whatever. But as you mentioned, you return a lot of pitching. I saw your top 3 arms. I'm going to butcher this name. What did you say? Mamaloy? Mamily. Gavin Yeager. That one's a little easier. And yourself, Lucas. So how valuable is it to go into a season having a staff that really has a ton of experience both last year and just in the past?
I feel like it's I think it's awesome because I just have so much trust in Gavin and Swings. They're just so that's they also just go out there and they just compete, and it's just I just know that they're just gonna do their job, and I think having so much experience just brings so much to the table for us, and it's just great.
Now, Caleb, as their catcher, what do you see in them that makes them so successful?
Yeah, I mean, they just go out there and as we say, they just compete. They throw strikes, they hit the right pitches. Obviously it's baseball. People are going to miss pitches and they're going to leave stuff where it shouldn't be. But they bounce back and they're resilient. And bad calls from the umpire, they don't say anything. Even if they know it's a strike, And I have complete confidence in all of my pitchers. I'm probably the closest with all of them because I'm with them all the time. But I just have complete confidence in them. Going out there, throwing strikes, competing where they need to compete, especially against these bigger Interac and PCL teams that, might see better pitching, but I'm confident that any of them can go out there and do their thing.
So you talked about some, obviously a lot of the innings are back, but who are maybe some young arms? You talked about some of the younger core that could potentially step in this year to a big role.
I think Fisher Haggerty should play.
His first name's Fisher? Oh,
First name is Fisher.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I think he definitely has the opportunity. It's right there for him, and he's just got to go get it. I think Zach Canrino and David Manfrey also, it's very similar for them. The opportunity is wide open. They just have to step up and do their job.
Can we ever see you on the mound, Vaughn?
Hopefully. I'll get one inning.
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's because I guess for you guys, all the game, do you guys play scrimmages or are they just all non-conference games?
No, they're just non-conference games, 4 games. Just competing with the best teams outside the area.
Yeah.
Just getting down to a warmer place, getting some warm weather baseball going, which is important for later in the season when it's hot outside. And we're just competing with the best teams in the area. It's really good because we don't know those guys. We don't know what's coming. We don't have a scouting report of that lineup. So the ability to just wake up, get to the game, and be ready to compete at a high level, it's just invaluable.
That first game sucks when you come back from Myrtle where you play. It's back to 38 degrees. And
Long sleeve, you
Yeah.
gotta wear completely different clothes.
Yeah.
It's just crazy
Well,
experience.
kind of the same question just about the offensive side of the ball. A few graduates, but again, a very similar roster. So who are some of the core offensive pieces that we should expect to see that, maybe haven't came up? But you mentioned swings, so that's got to be a good start.
Yeah, I think he's awesome. Because he's going to play college baseball to be a pitcher, but he just doesn't. He's not one of those dudes. He's I don't want to hit. He goes up there and he just rips a double every time. It's freaking awesome.
Where's he going again? I think I missed that.
Stevenson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maryland? That's right. Yeah.
Yep. I love the bat of Zach Canarino. Great
Great
bat. Hard out. I think he's gonna make a lot of noise this year.
I also think we have two new freshmen, Blake Davis and Miles Mamley, not related to the other.
Really?
Not
Just-
related. Not related.
same spelled name?
No,
Oh,
different.
spelled
It's actually different.
spelled
spelling.
differently.
I was going to say, that's,
Yeah.
such an obscure name.
And
Repeated.
you know, I know one of those two is going to have to step into a bigger role, and they might not be getting in at bat every game or playing every game, but like I think we all have confidence that if they get in, they can go be a dog and go just be a pest in the box if they're down 0-2 and just put up a good fight.
So Caleb, you are Springfield area, correct?
Yeah.
Who else from the Delco area is on the team?
So Swings would be at Upper Darby, I believe. Shane would also be at Springfield. Miles would be at Springfield. I don't know where Blake would be Upper Darby. Blake would be
Yeah,
Upper Darby,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think, and then Zach, Canarino, and David will be Haverford. So we got
Again,
we got
it's-
a lot of Delco guys.
And that's, like, again, people give us crap. People complain just to complain in general. But, like, when we cover teams that aren't directly in Delco, it's like when you look up and down the lineup, Devon Prep, 6 starters from Delco. Like, schools like Malvern, a lot of guys from Delco. It's just like, these are guys that we're going to be covering you guys, like, when you get to college. It's like, oh, this kid's from Springfield, So it made sense to us. But I kind of wanted to ask all three of you guys, you're the last private school that we're having in. So this is the last time I can ask this question. But what was it that kind of drew you guys to Friends Central? Was it like your choice, your family? Was it sports, just academics? Like how long is it? Is it K through 12?
It is K through.
So how long have you guys been going to school there?
Well, I've been going there since 5th grade because my brother came in 8th grade to play baseball here. So it just kind of happened like for me too. I just kind of came up through the.
So you said you were from Philadelphia?
Yeah,
right?
I live in Mount Airy. It's
Okay.
like right outside.
So
of
would you go to like Roxborough? Is that?
maybe?
I think that's
it's
like that's
probably
that
Roxborough.
general area. I
so.
think, right? Yeah.
I think it'd be Roxborough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be Roxborough.
What about you? Where would you have gone?
I almost went to the prep because that's where my brother went. My dad was a lifer at Friends Central, and when I was in 7th grade, the first of the championship teams was playing in the championship game. My dad was like, "We got to go to the game. First time in the championship in a while. We got to go." So we went, and then my dad was like, "I think I know the coach." He was a couple years older than me, so he was like, "I'm just gonna introduce you. Say hi." He introduced him. Told Coach Rubin I was in 7th grade. That I play baseball, thinking about Friends Central. Coach Rubin asked me to come to a practice, and from that, after that first practice, I was going to Friends Central.
That was
just-
it. Yeah.
was
Where would you have gone otherwise?
St. Joe's Prep.
Like just public school. Like what would your?
My public school. I'm from Overbrook, so I would have went to Overbrook High.
Okay.
Yeah, so went to the practice and just seeing that the older generation of the players, just how they move, how they practice, how they work with each other after winning a championship and still being motivated. It was I had to be a part of this.
Fit. What about you?
So for me, I gotta give props to Shane's dad, John McGarry. I wouldn't have even heard about this school if it wasn't for him texting, "Hey, does Caleb want to go to a practice for this school?" And we looked into the school, and the academics were great. That was kind of the first thing for my parents. Like, are the academics good? Yes. And then B, like the team was good. Like they had a great reputation, good winning. So we were like, sure, let's get a practice going. So scheduled a practice, had a great time. Group was great. I mean, just loved the way Coach Rubin ran the practice. I thought it was just awesome. And I actually went with Swings. Me and Michael Manley went to that together. And after that, I was like, I love this school. So we got in touch with Mike Cook, the admissions guy, and got that shadow visit set up really quickly, got out, loved the campus itself, loved the community, and it was kind of just like a no-brainer from there.
So what town is it officially?
Winwood.
Winwood,
Winwood, yeah. So it's close to Havertime. I remember looking it up briefly. All right, let's talk a little bit about post high school. Caleb, you're heading to Lafayette. I know Alex Barris from Episcopal's there.
Yeah.
Not sure if anybody else from around here is at the moment.
Kyle McKernan, he went to Penn Charter. He's there. He's the
remember
other
that
catcher
name.
there.
So talk to me about your recruiting process, kind of what led you there, what how did it stand out from any other options?
So my recruiting, I was very early to commit. It was kind of a no-brainer. Again, like Friends Central was kind of a no-brainer. Like, I mean, once the recruiting window opened, I was talking to other schools as well. Not that many, but I was talking to a bunch of other schools, and I reached out to Lafayette because when I was like 10, I knew AJ Miller was like, he gave me private lessons at All Star and Broomall. So that kind of just opened the door. I was like, hey, like if you remember me, blah, 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 and then sent him the email. After that, they got back to me really quick because I went to a team camp that summer, and that was probably the best I've played. So after that, started texting a lot, stayed in contact, got out on the visit. They offered me right there. A month or so later, I was like, none of these other schools are like feeling right for me, and it was just kind of a no-brainer. And I just great academics, great team. So
Cool. Lucas, I saw you're heading to Chesapeake College, JUCO, correct?
Yeah.
Where's that at? Is it Maryland?
It's in Maryland.
Yeah. So what was your same question? Just kind of what was your recruiting process?
Well, I mean, I always wanted to play college baseball, but it was very like until this year, it didn't really feel like something that could happen because I've missed my first 2 years, which is then why we decided that JUCO is like perfect because of all like the new and like rules with how it doesn't count towards the next 4
just
years.
prove yourself.
So yeah, it's a pretty recent decision, and we just reached out through our Frank Cooney. I feel like a lot of people probably know who that is. He put us in touch. We went on a visit, and I loved the main thing I loved was how they cared about their program. I feel like a lot of JUCOs like it's hard to care about a program because the schools are smaller, but they really cared about their program, and that's like what I care about. And I made the decision pretty recently, so I'm very excited.
Cool. Vaughn, I couldn't find anything about you, but you do play basketball as well, right?
Yes.
Are you planning on playing a sport?
No, I will not be playing a sport in college. Just a couple schools fell through last minute, so I was just like, I'll just apply to college and just go, not play a sport, not play either.
What are you thinking? You want to stay close to home, or?
No, I'm gonna go somewhere farther. Maybe either Morehouse in Atlanta, Howard in DC, and then USC, Southern California.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little different.
Yeah, no, a little different. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, a little bit further, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last question for you guys, all seniors here. What would it mean for you guys to end the way you started? You guys came in winning the Friends League. How would it feel to be able to go out like that and just kind of leave that impact?
I think it would just be perfect, because like just like watching all those older guys like and how hard they worked and like earning that I mean, we experienced it when we were younger, but it was different because I wasn't playing, so it was definitely different. And I would just really love to just go like earn it and just beat everyone. Just go get it.
I think, especially towards the end of the season, a big thing that's going to be in my mind is like, I don't want to stop playing high school baseball. Like, I don't want this to be my last game. Like, play this so we can play another game. Because, like, I don't want to leave this group. Like, this is an awesome community, awesome group, awesome coach. Just, like, that's going to suck leaving. So, like, just keep playing, play another game, have that mindset. So, that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, like similar to Lucas, I was on those rosters early on, but wasn't necessarily an everyday guy. Wasn't on the field. So I just want to feel that. I want to go get it. I want to go get it to end the last dance. And just this program is too good of a program to not get that medal, get that trophy, end on top.
It's different when you're one of the main contributors. Like, obviously, every person on the roster is important, but it's absolutely different. I like how you guys have an elite championship. I've been pushing for every conference to have that because, like, you guys, you play all the teams in the regular season, but you're not the same team you were April 9th as you are on May 25th. So, it's just very cool. But, all right, boys, thank you so much for taking the time to come on.
Thank you.
Appreciate your
Thank
time.
you so
We also got head coach John Rubin coming on as well. So, good luck and see you guys out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Also joining the show, we have Friends Central head coach John Rubin. Coach, thanks for coming in. How you doing?
Brendan, thanks for having me.
Of course. So how long have you been the coach for this Friends Central team?
I think this is my 12th year.
How did you get involved with the program?
So that's a great question. So Ross Trachtenberg built the foundations of the program in my mind, went off to coach in college. He was a Friends Central alum, came back, really built the program up, went off to coach in college and recommended me for the position. I was in the working world in a finance job, had been doing it for 20 years. I knew I was looking for a part two. And when I thought about coaching high school baseball, it's like, that is something I could sink my teeth into. So this is my part two.
So do you work for the school as well, or?
I just coach.
Nice.
I do a lot, but I just coach.
So I'm friends with a lot of your coaching staff. Can you kind of just share who will be with you on board this year and kind of, how they help support you?
Oh, we have a great staff. George Zirkle, who, very funny. George is great with pitchers, but I really came to appreciate him when we had a fall game against Devon Prep and he was coaching first base, and I loved the way he had approached the running game, which is near and dear to my heart. So I didn't bring him. I brought him in as a assistant to do everything, not just work with the pitchers. Ben Berman, great individual, and had a nice baseball career at Episcopal and Susquehanna. Really great story of resilience. He's on the staff. Charlie Longen.
He was one of our sponsors last year, actually.
Is that right?
Yep.
Who has just an incredible experience, and I love, he calls pitches for us. I just love the way he attacks hitters. Mike Vastoria, who actually comes from a Delco family, although he was born and raised in South Jersey. He played for 4 years at University of Maryland as a pitcher. He's on the staff. It's a great group. Tim Longen coaches JV. Brian McDonald coaches JV. Really, really love the group that I get to work
He's
with.
a very experienced group, especially in the pitching side for sure.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like with your players, before we get into this upcoming season, I'd love to hear about just your thoughts on 2025. Obviously, the run of the league championships came to an end, but just your thoughts, positive and negative, on how the team played throughout the year.
I mean, I thought we did a great job. I was really proud of the group. We competed effectively in the league. Shipley was has grown their program, has rebuilt their program, and is very strong. So I knew they were going to be a formidable competitor. I thought we did a great job in the league. Unfortunate that we didn't win the championship game, but it was hard fought. And, we competed well in our non-league games, which is what we do every year. I think we were a young team last year. We did graduate 3 seniors, but they had not had a lot of meaningful playing time before their senior year. One of them did, 2 of them less so. So we were young, and I think it showed. And I love the group that we have this. So coming into 2025, you just heard from the 5 senior leaders. They're mature. They're terrific leaders. They have experienced the culture all the way through, and they've done a great job fostering it as now being at the top of the program. So I'm really excited about what 2026 will bring.
So how valuable is it with so many guys coming back that they played in such big games like that Shipley game, the Haverford School playoff game, to know like when they get back in that spot again, it's not that they were, overmatched or overwhelmed, but now that they have that experience that maybe they wouldn't have had going into last year.
So it's a great question. Lucas had 2 years. He was not as a 9th grader and a 10th grader, didn't play an inning, varsity or JV, because he was injured. Vaughn first got into the starting lineup in a meaningful way last year. Caleb, Swings, and Shane are really experienced, all having competed effectively since 9th grade. So it's a great blend of 4-year guys and 2-year guys. So I just think they're really gonna get after it. And one thing that I think it came up in their comments, we're just a really small program. Mm-hmm. So, we may show up at a varsity game. If we have a JV game the same day, we may show up with 11 or 12 guys. Okay. But the 11 or 12 can compete with anybody. And I think that's what's so much fun about it. Anyway, that's.
Yeah. So turning the page to 2026, you guys said you just came from practice. So what have you kind of seen through these off-season practices, just overall with the group?
Well, I think it is a very close-knit group. It is exactly what a Friend Central group typically looks like. Great senior leadership, and then a younger group that is along for the ride, experiencing it for the first or second time. And I can see we're going to get some contributions from 9th graders. We have 3 10th graders who contributed a little bit last year, and who are ready. It's just such a typical squad. I think there's 12 or 13 players that'll see playing time, and that's it. But I wouldn't have it any other way. It is funny, Brendan. I think about some of the big programs, some of the 6A programs, some of the programs that we've competed very effectively, who are very good in the past, and we have. And it's just it's like they might have 40 kids on their varsity roster. We have 28 kids that come out for baseball, and we get it done. We get it done with on the varsity level with 12 to 14, and they're dogs, and we get after it. So you asked what I'd seen in the workouts. The one thing that we do have year after year after year, which I'm always afraid I'm going to lose, is a highly committed core. And so we play in the fall together, even though we've got small numbers. They showcase what they need to showcase for the college stuff, but they come out for Friend Central baseball. We practice twice a week. We play every weekend. The committed core is always there. And then we do 3 workouts a week starting in January and February. The committed core, it's like 95% attendance. And when they miss, they feel horrible. And it's not, they're optional, but nobody makes it optional. It's been going on for years. And so I just think it's like this thing that sets us apart.
Is it ever challenging for, some of these public schools, like these kids have been playing together since they were 7, 8, coming kind of through Little League? Is it ever challenging for some of the kids who might be coming more for high school here, to kind of just get thrown in and it's just a different fit for them?
Absolutely not. I think because we get after it in the fall together, and the kids that come in that at least that I recruit, a big reason they're coming is for baseball. And so the fall is a really exceptional way to get the culture going. So by the time the spring hits, they're still newbies, but the culture creation is well on its way. And so the classic example is Caleb, who you just mentioned it. He was getting rides to Brain and Barrel from Darius Atkins, who went to St. Joe's after Friend Central. Now Caleb's handing that down, and he's got kids that he's taken to Brain and Barrel. So I just think, there's 3 pieces of secret sauce. 1 is the culture. 2 is the leadership work that we do. So I meet with the leaders once a week starting in the fall. And 3 is our focus on mental skills. We actually have a sports performance coach who comes in once a week, and we talk about how to compete mentally. So, we're smaller. Sometimes we're typically not as talented. We're definitely not as deep. And, touch wood, the goal is just to compete with anybody and everybody.
Yeah, you got to find every advantage you can, for sure. So I asked these guys a little bit about this. How valuable is it, especially for a staff that is this pitcher friendly, to have so many innings returning from last year, going into this season?
It's super helpful. I don't think we're going to overpower anybody, but I think that we have a very competitive, from a mentality standpoint, a very compete focused top of the staff. So I think it's invaluable that we're returning so many innings.
So since, you guys can play more than the 20 games that the PIAA allows, how nice is it to be able to, go down to Myrtle Beach, like you said, schedule some of these tough non-conference games, looking at your schedule from last year, Perk Yeoman, GA, Haverford School, Chestnut Hill, Carroll. Like, how valuable is it to get all of those extra at-bats, pitching performances against teams like that to get ready for the playoff run?
So it's critical. It's part of what we do. It's like, I'm honestly, one of my goals is just to create a phenomenal high school baseball experience. That's why we practice so much. And then the benefit of being able to play, putting all that work and then being able to have the spring just be full of games is a luxury. And it's just, it's joyful. The second, there's a subtle component of that. We want to have a really challenging out of league, non-league schedule. And so the ability to play extra games allows us to do that. And so, literally, we will play anybody and everybody.
Do you guys know who you're playing in Myrtle yet, or is that still?
There's Yes, we do know who we're playing. It's fascinating. I think we have 3 prep schools from the DC, Northern Virginia area, and 1 PA public school that were from, I think, the west side of the state that we're playing.
Cool.
So
All right.
I'm gonna just this funny. These guys mentioned you mentioned Myrtle Beach. For us, with our small roster, the cool thing about Myrtle Beach is like my challenge is to make it physically rigorous, and we do that. And so, Malvern Prep, because of the robustness of their program, or so many schools with bigger rosters, they can play. It's no problem to play 4 games in 4 days. No problem. For Friends Central, it's hard. It's physically rigorous to play 4 games in 4 days because we don't have as much depth. And so the arms are hanging, the bodies are tired. I can't rest guys, but it's the grit piece that I think is so formative, about that trip for us.
Do you feel the Delco-ness on this team at all?
Yes. So I love Delco, and I recruit from Delco, and we got Delco. And we have so we do have from backgrounds, we have a diverse team in general. We always get some Center City kids, we get some Mount Airy kids, and we always have Delco kids. And I literally love recruiting from Delco. And I'm not sure, it could probably be 37 different ways to describe it, but one of the most valuable things is the focus that these kids have. Like in my world, Delco kids don't miss practice. It would never be acceptable from where they're from to not come to practice. And so if you ask, I think I had this conversation with Shane McGarry, who's a senior, that we're doing leadership work. And it's like, why are you at everything? He's like, from the beginning, he's like, why would I ever not be at everything? Like, it's just unimaginable to him, the way he grew up, that he would ever miss an event for anything. And I think it's, in today's day and age, that's not a given. And so, but at Friends Central Baseball, it's a given. And it helps when you have, and it started, sorry. Luke Biscali is playing at UMBC.
I remember him.
He's from Springfield. Luke, when he came to the school as a 9th grader, our program was not as robust. The off-season workouts were not as established. There were kids older than him who weren't always coming to every workout. From the minute he got on campus, he said, Coach, Friends Central Baseball is my priority. And because of that, part of this, the positive peer pressure that builds around that class was great. There were other people in the class who had the same attitude. Caden Carlin, Johnny Fitzpatrick, Sammy Berman. Of course. Like all of a sudden, and I'm sorry, I'm leaving guys out. All of a sudden, they're all showing up, and it made the off-season work. My job is to make sure I'm never, ever, ever wasting their time at a workout. So we get meaningful work in all the time, but Delco helped build this program.
Yeah, and I think it starts at the little leagues. All the little leagues around here are so intense. I played at media. I know Sammy played at media. It's like the coaches there, like they drill that into you. It's like, hey, like obviously we're here to have fun, but like we're here to win too. Yeah. It's not just about having fun.
I left a one of that class out, which I regret. Dylan Pojencheg, who is also he's a longtime Friends Central player, but he's a Delco kid.
Yep, still playing.
And he's still playing at Dickinson. I thought he was going to be soccer first. And because I literally, obviously when baseball speaks to you. But I also think part of the culture just grabbed him and he's like, I love this. And now he's, had a successful career.
I think he just had 100th hit maybe. I thought I saw something pop up about that.
He's done a great job at Dickinson.
Yeah. All right. Last question for you here. In order to, take that Friends Central or Friends Select, is it Friends Select League officially or just Friends League?
Friends Schools League.
Friends Select is a school in the league.
Yes,
correct?
It is.
Okay. To take back the Friends League championship, what do you think? Give me one key that you guys need to focus on to make that happen.
I think we're just going to need to be playing our best baseball at the end of the season. And I think every coach would say the same thing about how they want their season to go. It's always a process, and you just want to build and build and build and become invincible. And I think it's well within our grasp. I think they're good. We're returning a lot. They're returning a lot. They're they being Shipley. Westtown's good. This is going to be much better this year. So it's not going to be easy, but I think it's like well within our grasp just by doing what we do.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come in, bringing your boys in as well. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out there and really just getting more coverage in. Now, it's nice to have more hands on deck for us that we can kind of get. I call you guys the bubble teams, Malvern, Devon, you guys like right outside of Delaware County. But like you said, enough of the Delco talent that it's worth it for us.
We'd love to be included. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Brendan.
Thank you.